Andrew's stuffing his face. Do you want to take a couple more bites before we start?
Take a couple more bites.
Guy.
I only had one more bite to take. That was it.
All right, cool. So welcome everyone to the virtual version of Sassy and Savage podcast. All right, so we're all separated, but we're together because this is the world we live in. So
Practicing social distancing.
Yeah, so sometimes life makes it a little bit difficult to stay close, but you know what it is. So it's your boy starting it off, Mr. Remarkable, aka Rizings, also known by the government as Rohan. So got your socials going to be on the bottom, but we're going to pass it over to our lovely lady of the table. Introduce yourself, sweetheart.
I'm Lexine Samuel. Same thing with my social, but it will be at the bottom, as you said.
Awesome. And we got our general from time, the loud one, Andrew. Let people know what's good.
You already know what it is. It's your boy, Mr. Andrew Coley, government name, aka LIP on all social _ Lord 905. You already know what it is on all platforms. Let's go.
Nice. So we're already warming up the pipes a little bit. We're talking about the reveal on Oprah with the queen the prince and the princess and their fallout when it comes to the royal family and just how life has been treating them.
Meghan Markle.
Yeah, so it's an interesting topic because as Miss Meghan, she's not a pureblood. She's an outsider like us, a commoner. So definitely living the Disney princess life, but it comes with a little cost. So that's what we were finding out. So,
all I'm saying is there's never been a black princess in Disney that ever escaped. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, yeah, it's good to have representation. We can't just have that fraud princess. So, but I
mean, really, are we really surprised that they fell out with the family, especially since Harry married not a quote? Let's be real. He married a woman of color, and you already knew Britain throughout the entire situation blew up. They were disrespecting the lady on her wedding day. So really, are we surprised at any of this?
What, the princess?
No. Yeah, no, not at all. Why I would say that? Because they had with that family, they strictly want just white. They don't want any type of difference regardless of anything. From when they found out about her, I knew that they felt like she was an issue. They're pretending the entire time, but we all could see through their faces, their masks.
No. They were never pretending to like her. Let's be honest. You really want to see some true evidence of the fact? Go witness on her wedding day when one of the royal dukes was walking around with a blackface brooch on the side, talking about, oh, she's paying respect, when you damn well know with something with big ass nigger lips on it is not necessarily the greatest, compliment to black people to wear to a woman's wedding. So let's be real.
In my opinion, from what I felt with that family, I felt like low key they were trying to get on under her skin so much, even with the press.
They were taking shots
to the point where they're trying to make her leave Harry, but that didn't work. That's what I think. That's what I believe.
Yeah,
I strongly believe that. But one thing that some people might disagree with me on, the whole when she was sitting there with Oprah and she was like, oh, as a black woman, this, that, and the third. I'm gonna keep it real though.
Mm-hmm.
She's not okay. I don't know how to put this. It's more like
no. Say what you gotta say. Don't.
Are you pulling a team light skin?
No.
It's more on the sense of she's okay. Look, the way that she was speaking with Oprah, putting the whole black woman thing. I get it. She is part black. But let's be more realistic. The way that she was talking was as if she's a true full black woman going through this situation. It's right, and then saying it towards Oprah, it was just so weird.
I'll digress with you, and I'll say this: being somebody from the more British half of this world, like me and Ronan happen to be, we can tell you that she has gone through it. because the diaspora of British people, it does. If you are one tint lighter, if you are one tint not speaking the accent, if your education is not up to par, you are lower and lower and lower and lower on the totem pole. The thing about Meghan Markle is that she got lucky enough to have Canadian blood in her. So she's been through the rigor. Let's be real about it. We in Canada know that there's a double standard, especially in our own community. Like, let's be real. That light skin card that we keep trying to play is another form of separationism. So that's the first part. So she's been shitted on by her own people saying that she's not dark enough for Ola. Let's just play the card. Then we're going to get to the fact that she stumbled into the royal family to get shitted on for not being light enough. Then let's even make it even worse. Her own community on the oath, if we all remember this, the Canadian group of people said, we ain't paying for you to live here. So we don't even want you.
I mean, we weren't paying because of the fact that it's an.
I'm just saying, like, there's no, as much as we like to call this a spade, we're just going to call a spade, is all I'm saying.
Well, I don't like I agree with that, but like it's derived and then exasperated by it because like you're asking the Canadian population to pay for the royal monarchy when we're just like part of the Commonwealth, but it has no benefit. The only countries that are still recognized as the Commonwealth is Britain, us, and like Australia, like so Australia and New Zealand. But it there's no benefit to it. It's not like we're still part of a global entity. Like, you know, like
there's no benefit to it.
Right.
So
like we can travel to Britain and maybe be able to be switched through, but it's not like the US access card or something like that, where it's like, you go through your own express line or something like that. So like at the end of the day, being thrown that expense is just like it's at the same level as you know, and nothing against immigrants and refugees and stuff like that, but it's when it's that thing where it's just like, the humanitarian aspect will help everyone. That's the Canadian of us. But then when it's just like, here's the bill, be like, okay. And it's just like, you get to live where?
Everybody had the stink face when they seen the bill.
Right? You get what? You get subsidized living for an entire year. There's a bunch of homeless people that need help.
That could use that,
bunch of special needs people and disabled people that need help. It's just like I don't want to discredit anybody from war-torn places, but it's just like if you're not able to take care of your own, then why are you taking on someone else's problem?
And let's be honest with you, the real issue with their lifestyle is the security. It's not the general life that anybody really has to pay for, because guess what? Their family has, like, from what I understand, their family and them have a good bit of detailed wealth that came in from the actual holdings of properties that their family was retaining. It's not like they're broke. Like, let's be honest, they're not broke.
One thing I don't like about that, though, like their family dynamic, is that it's so detached. Like, it's a detached mentality that they all have. Like, I've realized their family is just a business. Like, it's all about basically just the wealth. And all they do pretty much is go and help. Like, you see how they go and help, and they go to like certain countries and they help out, they give out and stuff like that. Like, basically that's something that they have to do.
Well, it's a,
like, I don't know.
It is a business.
It is
a business. Like, everybody needs to understand this. Every government is a business. If you really think about it, like when you pay your property taxes, you're not paying the city of Brampton or city of Mississauga or wherever you're at. You're paying the corporation of the city you live in. Right? You know, the term of crown corporations like Petro-Canada and Canada Post, everything's structured on a business because it makes more sense.
It's all subsidiaries. If you think about it, they build the Canadian government like a giant CEO corporation, and every other province is a subsidiary of it.
Well,
what I'm trying to say though, that is that their family dynamic has none. Like, they're just very detached. It's just strictly business. I
have a good idea of why. See, this all started with I won't quote me on the original, like, you know, King Henry or which one of this, but one of Elizabeth's old uncles or old relatives basically sold out the monarchy. What happened was is that they used to have a gigantic shareholdings of properties. It used to be stuff all the way from Britain to shareholdings in different countries to XYZ. What happened was is that there a group of the kings that were actually there spent a shit ton of the family wealth to the point where they had no coffers left. It was actually a result of start of one of their big wars. Like I said, don't quote me on which one. I'm not going to quote the timing or all of this. But I learned this back in the day in history class. I just forgot the timing and the date of it all. But actually what happened was they signed a contract with the British government that said that all common properties that the government holds are actually the Queen's properties. They're entitled to the rights and the benefits of the actual properties themselves, but they're nothing but caretakers. As a holding, all the royal family really actually does is manage and caretake a giant group of property. That's all their actual wealth is consisted of. The government subsidizes them to a large amount to actually keep those properties in a holding of the Queen. She makes general laws because she's above the law. That's the difference between the Queen's family and everything else. The reason why they're all detached is because they have to maintain that farce. They have to be able to say that you sit over here, you sit over here, you go sign a little bit of peace treaties over here, you go greet the Queen over here. They need enough of them spread thin enough that the family can maintain an efforts of power. Let's be honest, they don't actually make any influence of decision. The Queen probably has a final say in a lot of things, but
the royal family has no power.
So there you go. Like even worse, they have no more power. So they're just there holding properties. That's all they are.
No, bro. The state policy is only one chunk of it, but how they actually make money is from the taxpayers. They have a solvency grant. So it's only because
that's tied to it as well. Yeah.
Right. So they're only recognized as a monarch, but they have no diplomatic power.
No power, yeah.
Right? Like they do things on behalf of the Queen because of the heritage, but it's just like the like if the Queen wages war, so to speak, it's really gonna be like, are we like really gonna wage war on this country? Like, is it in our best interest? She can push for something and she can lobby it, but she can't sit there and say, I declare war on like China.
She's not Trump.
And it be passed in. Right?
Yeah, so, I think she can request it though.
Oh yeah,
she can influence it. The royal family is the original influencers. That's what they are.
Yeah.
So like they just get money from the taxpayers, they get recognized that way. So that's why, to a certain extent, this does make sense. Like I don't want to
separate their holdings. Yeah. So allow Meghan and Harry to roam around the city and do what they want.
It's all about image. You have to remember the fact that it's all about image. So they have to be aloof all the time because they have to follow a certain structure.
Yeah.
Think about it.
They all have jobs in that.
Right.
In that family.
And that's why after this Oprah thing, and everyone's just like, what's the Queen gonna say?
Where do they have to go? Not a damn thing.
Because look at this.
Human resources.
Yeah.
They have to put it through human resources.
But the reason why but I've noticed like the reason why Harry and Meghan is out of that, why they came out of that, because it's a job. In order to be in the royal family, it's a job. They didn't want to be a part of that anymore because they knew what their beliefs were and they weren't for that. Just like when Harry said in the Oprah interview, and he said he doesn't want history to repeat itself either as well. That already showed that Princess Diana, that was literally like a plan that happened. Bro.
Here's the thing with me. Sorry, you're finishing.
Oh no, because I was gonna say, because I feel like he said that because he didn't want Meghan to go through that. Because that's what I
already believe it. Because the Piers Morgan instance already shows me like one of the, if you guys broke down that thing when he walked off, right? Did you listen to his co-host and what he was saying to him in the time and when he walked off? Because not a lot of people actually took in what his co-host was saying to him. He says, I've watched you be a friend to that lady, and the second she became a part of the monarchy and she decided to distance herself from you, you joined the rest of the vanguard, which went after her personally. Like you guys attacked her on her wedding day.
Yeah.
Like name me a princess name me a woman on earth who is going to be at ease with a family when they attack you on your wedding day.
No,
Like,
it's because
let's be real.
Pierce Morgan, he low-key had feelings for,
Oh, yeah.
everyone could tell that. He low-key
That's
had
a jealous
feelings for Meghan
ex-boyfriend if I
Markle.
ever heard one, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he was
Like,
butthurt.
he got the salty. He got
And then
salty
ever
extra
since she
fries,
chose
bro.
the ginger and chose to go into the royal house, he starts acting all different.
Come on,
Bro.
you're telling me you're gonna compete against that? Like, in all honesty, if I was dating a girl and it was just like, yeah, I'm gonna choose you over a prince, I'd be like, yeah, I would expect that. Like,
And
not to be shallow in that aspect, but the allure is just so strong that you be
Let's
like,
be real.
oh,
Pierce Morgan built like a bag of bricks anyway. So who really gonna be? Who really
Well,
gonna play with that?
But
obviously he didn't really stand a chance. Like,
he
Like,
really didn't.
the prince
He
is
really
Homeboy
didn't.
built like a bag of bricks anyway, so it really
Right.
doesn't really matter. The whole contentious point about this is not even the Pierce Morgan angle. I only brought him up. I didn't want to bring any light to him, but I'm saying the real reason why I even brought him up is because it's the same. Media has echoed. British media has echoed that sentiment since Meghan Markle became a thing. How dare her want to enter the royal family? That's been the sentiment since she was a part of this entire thing. It's not been about whether I've seen them bring up where she went to school, who she's with, what friends she had. And this was before while they were dating. So they've been trying to strip that relationship like an onion, trying to get to the center from time.
But again, it's based off of the value of the monarchy, right? So if it was like, we're in an era of wokeness, and as annoying as that is, the monarchy is still a traditionalized system. How do you justify king and queen? You have to rule over somewhere. So what are they ruling?
True.
It's not like they're ruling over physical land anymore, because like I said,
Bars.
there's sovereignty, right? So they rule over the illusion, the notion, and where is that derived from? Them conquering and luring over and pure blood this and this foolishness, to the point where it's just like, okay, cool. But if you really look at the history of royals in general, they're screwed up same way. Because
why does this sound like an episode of the Meet the Kardashians, the royal version? All I'm saying, like, Harry seems like that nigga. Harry right now seems like what's that football player who escaped the original Kardashian? Reggie Bush?
Reggie, yeah.
He feel like Reggie Bush right now. That nigga fled from the family and been doing fine ever since.
To be honest, I feel like Harry wanted to leave that family so long ago, and Meghan gave him a reason to just dip.
But he was never, like Rohan said, he was never a part of it. If you really think about it, he's always been treated like the stepchild.
Well,
like from the jump, if you remember all the media like putting out all the stories about him partying and all the other stuff, like, you're supposed to protect your like, if you're in the royal family, 90% of the people who are beside you are designed to protect and hold information away from the public. All of that stuff was just leaking about Harry like no business. And I guarantee you his brother was probably into the same shit, but none of that information got out.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, he was always...
No. Actually, yes, he did get called out. However, people didn't believe it because it's... No, people didn't believe it because it's William, because he was the one that acted the good one, right? But that's the cover-up, though. William always... Do you know how much times he cheated on Kate?
Right.
Many times.
And remember, William was closer relation to his father, while Harry was closer to his mother. So if you just look,
it's witnessing the timeline all over again.
They're being biased on who they like most.
William, all honesty, like, when you look at their personality, William is more of a tactician. So he's just sitting there. It's just like, who do I align with that's gonna work in my best interest? My dad is the pure blood. He's from the lineage. I'm going to go under his shadow so the media can be like, okay, whatever, or my dad will come to my rescue. Because Harry was always related to his mom, they spent a lot of time. They just sit there and associate him in the outcast because he fell under that pillar. That's it. And it all trickles down. So you can see why Harry was attracted to an outsider. Because if you go to all the parties and be like, welcome to Prince William and Prince Harry, everyone's going to be like, oh, the outsider.
I'm sorry, let's be real. That nigga was attracted to some ass.
What? No, bro.
Let's be real.
Bro,
he'd been walking around flat-footedness his whole life and finally saw something with a little bit of bump and he was happy.
I'm done.
Plus, he probably could cook. Half of them girls in the royal stable don't know nothing about seasoning.
In all honesty, I feel like Princess Diana, rest in peace, God rest her soul. But it's like she set this up. She's like, yeah, eh? What goes around comes around. She made Harry get out of that family and go get himself a black woman. So all right, there you go.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, and it's a shame because she was pushing for a certain degree of like equality understanding, because from the time when she was there, she was just
from
like,
the beginning, bro.
Society, like, why are you going to lord over people? What benefit do the people get from the royal family anymore?
Exactly.
Nothing. So it's just
I remember there was a charity event that Diana basically was headed to, and they asked her, because they always asked her why she never traveled in a royal motorcade like with all the rest of them, and she used to say it all the time, like, how am I any better than the person sitting next to me? Why do I deserve to take up 5 lanes of traffic when the other guy who's heading home wants to get home at the same time I do? Like, she's always been a common, regular, down-to-earth person, and that's what made me gravitate toward wanting to know more about Princess Diana. Like, so I can just see it on her son's face. Like, you can see the same wearing stress that she went through wearing on that boy's head. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I watched that interview. It didn't look fake to me. That's the one thing I look in these interviews for. I look in these interviews for those little, you know, those little nuanced moments where you can see when people are faking it because they're just there for a paycheck. Or I didn't get any of those in there. I got some genuine vibes of like, yo, I'm free, so I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Exactly. But what bothered me a little bit was that when Oprah was like faking her surprised look, because it's like, you damn well knew that family don't want no half black child at all.
Hey. If Oprah can fake her way through Epstein, she can fake her way through anything.
Oh, don't even sleep. I don't want to get too deep in this, but that royal family is a part of the pedophilia too. So
that's what I just said. If she can sleep her way through Epstein, you know, mom's the word.
Trust me, because that's why what's her name? The queen has been living for so long, using adrenochrome and stuff like that.
Bruh, who knows?
Don't sleep on that.
Let's be honest. All of the conspiracy of theory and all of this stuff aside, she's one of the most powerful, dynamic women on the planet, just through the simple fact that what she says to a small group of people is law, regardless of if you actually believe in the British monarchy or not. There is a group of people who truly believe in king and country. Truly. Yes. Like, I mean, to the point where it's beyond what you see in the States. Like, all the atrocities in the history of the last probably 80 years by the British name was in her name. So let's just be real. That lady still got some power.
Don't throw her queen. No, she does have power, because at the end of the day, I don't know if a lot of Canadians even know this. She runs us. At the end of the day, there's a reason why she's on our money. Like, what are you telling me right now?
We still paying that per diem out.
Exactly. We're a part of the UK. We're not part of the US. The UK, there's a difference. Like, it's right there, right on the money. But I guess a lot of people actually forget that. To be honest, I noticed that.
Honestly, like I said before, it's influence, and you know, the people that are there to kind of trickle in that sort of stuff. It's a psychological game that they're going at, because they realize that power's not there. I'm telling you, on paper, the royal family has no power. Right?
Yes, but what I'm talking about, it's not the power of. I'm talking about the power, like you said. You are 100% right. It's the power of perception. 90% of those people who are British elitists truly believe in that histocracy of being isolative and being one person. Like, they don't want any mixture of blood, and they talk about it all the time, the purity of the British monarchy. Like, it's in the statement itself. Purity of the British monarchy. Like, to them, any mixture is not pure.
Right.
It's not.
So you should already know from Jump Street that this little union was gonna have problems.
Yeah, and anybody who comes and challenges how it's set up, that's what it is. That's what you got with Diana. That's what you're kind of getting with Harry, because every time he wowed out, what were they ready to do? Like, remember when he was going to join the military? When he was like, fuck this family, because he's been trying to get out multiple times.
He was like, dude, I'm out. I'm going to. I'm going to do some dangerous shit. I know that was part of the principal serving.
Right. So when he was just like, I'm going to serve my country because I don't feel like I'm of value in my current position. Right.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, cool. We're going to let you serve the country, but you're going to have a security detail. He's just like, that doesn't make any sense. They're like, no, because we have to protect you. So when he was doing all his training, he had part of the British, like,
their version of Secret Service, I guess.
Well,
yeah, basically.
like the guys who wear the stupid hats and stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Part of the Queen's Guard go to the military with him and go through the training with him. And so it's just like, so if I ever get dispatched, this is Harry, and being like, if I get sent to war, are you gonna come with
I gotta bring this guy with me?
Right. And they're like, yeah. So obviously that created a divide against the truth, because he's like, why would he have to train if he has already trained like MI6 level security to help him to go to war? So it defeated the whole purpose. So every time he tried to sit here and say, I don't understand the value of my position in here, they're like, it doesn't matter. Because
they're just trying to tell you it's a part of the program. You can't do nothing about it. It's a part of the program.
And you doing that devalues our program. And then it gets to the point where people are going to start questioning the value of the monarchy. So they have to keep that illusion. So that's why, you know, like Meghan's little boyfriend was just like, oh, disrespecting the Queen and country. What did that have to do with anything?
Bars.
Right? So
in fact, hold on. Let's even get this twisted. They actually never brought up the Queen in that whole entire thing. He actually went out to the purpose of saying that the Queen and Meghan even both said it. She loved the kid. It's everybody else in the family.
Yeah.
That's actually what he said. He says, like, let's put it out there right now. I'm not saying that the Queen really had anything to do with it. I'm not even saying his brother or any of the other major ones had anything to do with it.
I heard it was the brother and the daddy.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's that. No, I don't even think it's that either. I think, like I said, all right. Let's take in, like I used to date a woman before, right? I take into consideration when you date a girl, it's like you're dating her family. Am I correct? So I meet the mom, cool. Meet the pops, cool. Meet the brother, cool. Met the second cousin, me and him are like best friends playing games on the weekend. I go meet her god uncle, somebody that she's been desperately trying to keep away from me, and he's always at her house. I finally meet him and figure out why. It took me 30 seconds. You want to know why? Because the first thing he mentioned out of his mouth was, "Oh, you're Bertha's boy."
Okay.
But I feel, in general, I feel like I don't even think it was the Queen per se.
Yeah, no. I think it's one of them side-eyed family members, bro. Probably the same one who wore the nigga bro.
I think it's the brother and the daddy. Why I say that? Because William and Harry have been going at it half their life.
Yeah, but
everybody knows that. And
but everybody's like.
And then for Kate to go pick at her, definitely that side. It was definitely William and the daddy and Kate, because everybody knew Kate was jealous of Meghan since day one.
Yeah,
it was pretty obvious.
You got to realize though, Kate has no spectrum in this due to the fact that Kate is just like she. Kate's in a situation that she doesn't need to speak. People are going to speak for her. That's what I'm saying.
But Kate was still jealous because at first when she came in the picture, she was in the spotlight. Everyone's like, "Oh, Kate's pretty, this, that, and the third." And when Meghan came in, everyone was like, "Okay, spotlight off of her."
Yeah,
everyone
but that's still
focused on Meghan.
She's only gonna be focused on this small. That's what I'm trying to say to you. They only extended Meghan's 5 minutes of fame beyond the marriage because they left. They were gonna be shoved into infamy and never spoke to about again. You gotta remember how that whole relationship structure works. Pops is already on his deathbed right now. You got to think about it. No, I'm just being real. The next guy up is his brother. So let's be real. Who's going to be in every tabloid, every forward talk? If this was not going on right now, it would be William beside his father's side and the doting wife helping them. If this wasn't a thing, I'm trying to tell you, if this really, really, really wasn't a thing, and you didn't have this open interview right now, everywhere in the British tabloids right now would be pasted how the loving and doting family is taking care of their ill family member.
Yeah.
That's what it would be. They wouldn't even be a thing.
Yeah, but they, regardless of anything, though, they still can't hide their true feelings. Like body language says it all, though.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah, but who
William,
gives a shit? That's what
no,
I'm
like
saying. to you.
no, but with William, like everyone's been knowing William's been feuding with Harry for years, because William's been looked at as the special child because he's more like his father,
Right.
and Harry's more like his mother.
Right.
But that's
And
what I'm saying to you.
William-
I think that's. Oh, sorry. Continue. Yeah.
Oh no, it's okay. It's because like, especially with Kate, she made it so obvious she did not like the spotlight on Harry and Meghan, or just Meghan, period. Like you could tell. And not only that, the interview said it all, because she actually admitted it, that Kate actually hurt her, made her cry. And then they tried to flip the story and say that Meghan made Kate cry, and that's not even true. It was the other way around.
You also have to take in consideration that like everyone's shocked about this. Disney called it. Look at every time a Disney princess gets introduced into the royal family, the sisters, the stepsisters, all that shit stuff.
The whole entire
they come into like, you're not a real queen, this and that, blah blah blah.
You gotta remember, it's an archetype. You gotta think about it this way. This is not in neither girl's control. This is an archetype set up for people to feud and keep them at distance. The reason why your original question was, why are their family like this? Is because of this. Is because specifically that archetype that they are generally running to is pretty much the same. You keep the next group, the next person down, so you can rise above them and use them as a stepping stone. It's pretty much the entire deal of it. Behind closed doors, Harry and his brother might be best of friends, but we don't know. But
they ain't best of friends.
At the end of the day, it's power.
What I'm saying to you is like, we can laugh at. No, what I'm saying to you is like, there is a dynamic when it comes to siblings. And what I'm saying to you is that you can be at beef in public with your sibling all you want. But what I'm saying to you is, in a family like that, they don't control anything. What I mean by is, even what is written about them is not controlled by them. Right. So
I hear you saying,
how do you see? That's what I'm saying. Harry and his brother could be best of fucking friends, just playing the fucking role that they had to play.
So like you're playing devil's advocate, so you're just trying to say like, they never know.
One's got to be the good son, one's got to be the bad son for the role to make sense. That's the whole idea. He was just. I think what happened is Harry. He's done playing the game. He's like, fuck this. I want to talk to my grandmother whenever I want. I want to be able to be cool with my brother whenever I want. I'm gonna go to another country where I can just Skype y'all now and be out of India.
But here's what confuses me though. Remember how you guys said that you guys don't think the Queen like had a problem with Archie or anything like that? My thing is, if that's the case, because I think they did say that in the interview. My thing is, if that's the case, why did they not give them protection or security, knowing that there's crazy people out there or anything like that? Like, why would they not?
Because it's a law.
It's a business.
It's because of law. The second they leave the protection of the British monarchy, they are to be given nothing. That is the way they kept the family in check.
Oh,
if you leave, you don't get shit.
True. That's what
reason.
Yeah, that's why they had to find their own jobs, and why Meghan decided to go back.
They couldn't use the royal name, and if they want to put it on like if Prince Harry wants to be on a postage note or something like that, he'd have to go back to the royal family.
Bro,
he has no choice.
Keep it simple, man. When you leave your job, you have to give back the company's phone and the laptop. Right? It's the same thing. It's the same
keys
thing.
To the car, all of that.
So yeah, like. That's why I'm not really surprised, but in a situation, like I said, it's a business, and business was good until it got to the point where someone was there to shake things up. And the biggest problem is that, you know, when you like again, put it to work. If you had a job and you went and got your education and stuff like that, and then you want to go work for Google, and then you were in competition with somebody else because affirmative action, wouldn't you be a little teased? Yeah. Like it's just one of those things. So you have all these royals sitting here and saying, yo, if we start letting in commoners, we did it once with Diana, you know, look how much, if we make it more common, because the branches are getting bigger, right? And they realize that they're running out of it. So all these people who are still royals, duchess and duchess and all that sort of stuff, if they're sitting here and saying I have to compete with a regular public, there's no point. right? So they're trying to protect their future investments and the monarchy and all that sort of stuff. And it just gets trickled down to the point where it's becoming toxic. Like we see it all the time. Game of Thrones, The Queen, all these shows, they're not live. You know,
they're not
like
lying. No, it's all about.
Might be exasperated, but at the end of the day, it's the same thing. And it's just like, you know, we can't be surprised that like
not even that. You know, the show. I don't know if you know the show The Crown on Netflix too. That one shows the monarchy for sure.
Right.
For sure.
So, you know, it's unfortunate. And like, you know, all these things being revealed, it's great that they're being called out in their bullshit at the end of the day, because it, like, you know, it just shows that.
But people, are they really being called out on their own bullshit though? Because if you think about it, this is entire thing as a strategy. Because if you really think about it, Meghan and Harry had to do this as a strategy to separate themselves so they could have a quote unquote normal life. You didn't think to some degree that the Queen was like, the Queen or her own group of people were like, all right, y'all want to leave? Here's the play.
Right. And then reveal so you guys can be separated.
You don't think somebody in the family gave them that information? Like, here's the play. Here's how to get out of everything.
Yeah, no, I know for sure the Queen was like, okay, if that's your guys' decision, but here's what you guys will get. Here's what you guys won't get. Like, she probably laid it down on the line.
But what I'm saying to you is that they're already protected by their own private holdings. Like, Harry has his holdings from his mother.
Yeah.
He's not worried about all of that stuff. What I'm saying to you is the way out of the family without disdaining the family. Like, right now, this is a blip. This is going to be forgotten by next year. This is a conversationary point. This is a way to leave the family without actually causing any controversy. Yes, we are talking about this and we are having a discussion about this, but this was literally over nothing. This was a way for them to separate themselves without actually parting the sea.
You know what else? You know what else? Sure. I almost feel like it was like a litmus test.
Bars.
Because now they can sit here and say, how does society feel with all these things, with race, with monarchy? How is it important, relevancy, all these things? Now they can sit here and say, oh, we're still relevant. We're still relevant, and this is how you see us.
Okay. Exactly. Propaganda.
Bro, I guarantee in 5 to 6 years, you're going to start seeing reprinted coins, and you're going to start seeing memorabilia. You got to remember, all of that stuff dropped. Like, here's a little timeline that most people didn't realize. 90% of a good amount of the income that was coming into the coffers directly from the British monarchy was from their likeness and their general imagery. That went down hugely after Diana. Nobody wanted to celebrate king and country after that shit.
Well, actually, I'm not going to say that they're going to start doing coins and stuff, because to be honest with you, the way that the economy is going right now, it's going to be a cashless society by the end of 2021 or 2022.
And what do you think gold stamp coins are? They're the best forms of currency for the royals. When you print something with the seal on it, you know, when you return that bad boy, they get a piece of it.
Yeah, but that's why Bitcoin is like going up right now, because
but what I'm saying to you is British society as a whole. We're not talking about the rest of the world. We're talking about the home base of where they operate. Their entire they operate off of nostalgia. It's why they had to attack. You got to think about it this way. There's two sides of this story being told. There's the American side of it, where the American tabloids and the publicity era is on not Meghan Markle's side, but they're on attack mode from the British Empire. Then you have the British Empire as a whole right now in defensive mode. Anything that is practically British is being celebrated right now. Oh, you can't do this to our nation and all that. It's all a way of marketing and being strategic. In the end, the person who controls the narrative wins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what you gotta realize. And they control the narrative.
I feel like the Queen is controlling all this at this point, because she's sitting there all dandy, like she's fine. She's not even.
The Queen has money. She's old. She's just up there with Betty White. She's just chilling. She's like
kicking it. She kicking
it.
Bro,
she got Jesus' phone number, bro.
Right. She's just like, whatever you guys want to do.
She got that nigga on speed dial. Anytime when she ready to check out, she can.
She's just sitting there.
What are you talking about? That I don't know if that lady's gonna make it to heaven with all the stuff that her family did.
Bro, you don't think she's got enough on? You don't think she's got enough to blackmail God? I know all that deep dark secrets you put down here. I remember all of them. I was a part of it. I'll tell you secrets.
One thing though that I've noticed though, Megan has never really claimed her black side until the family started treating her like shit. That's one thing I've noticed too.
Let's be honest. Can anybody black claim their black side as a benefit to anything? Oh, black people like to bring that shit up like it's a fucking badge of welcome.
No,
like, I'm gonna call a spade right now.
I don't know. Well, if you're black, then yeah, but like
what I'm saying to you is, I'm gonna call a spade right now. If you are in any form of culture, in any form of business, in any form of per diem, does your blackness? We're not talking about today's modern society. We're talking about you, a person over the age of 35 who will remember what it's like to be black and have to hide it. There is no fucking help. The black card is a myth. It's something people like to pull out every once in a fucking while when they like to keep you in your place. And black people like to use it all the fucking time to keep other people in the same place they are. Oh, you're not black enough when you did this. But it's like the same shit they use with Michael Jackson all the fucking time. Oh, you didn't remember he was black with this and this and this.
No, when to me, she's still black. I'm not someone who's calling her out.
No, I'm not saying it isn't. What I'm saying to you is that narrative of people only using their black. I'm saying, I don't know, we don't know that black people as a whole, she might be roaming around. She might be in a circle where she's the only black girl. She's literally carrying the weight of all black people with her. You see what I'm saying? I grew up that way, where it wasn't until I moved back to Brampton where I was around some black people. Because when I lived in Forest Hill, because of the proximity to where I live, there was no black people. I was the only, I was one of 6 black people that went through the entire education system of Forest Hill Elementary School. It wasn't like I was trying to make black friends or I wasn't trying to be black. It just never occurred to me because I was around white people all the time.
I get that though, because like that was like my upbringing. Like I was around different races. Like even now, right now, I live in a place where it's just all predominantly white people. So it's like for me, it's like I don't know. I get it though. I get what you're trying to say. Like you're just used to your environment. It's not that you're trying to not own your blackness.
You're just trying to survive. That's it. Like
in most cases,
black people are the greatest chameleons on the planet. We know how to blend in anywhere. Everybody else doesn't have to blend with us. Like when you see other people come into black culture, it's fucking never seamless. We can spot them. We can spot a Post Malone 70,000 miles away from just the whole vibe of it.
But you gotta admit though, Megan didn't fully experience what a black woman experiences though, because she's biracial. There's a difference.
No, I don't know that, because here's the thing. I have a biracial kid,
but
and I will tell you. No, I have a biracial kid, and I will tell you.
That's like saying a light-skinned black guy or a light-skinned guy, whatever, experience the same amount that you've experienced. That
well, what I'm gonna say is I can't say that, because what I'm gonna say to you is that his level of racism might be completely comparable to mine, but in different ways, because he has to deal with black people being racist to him, and he also has to deal with white people.
Oh yeah, so you got me there.
I cannot compare my struggle to one. That's one thing black people got to stop comparing apples to oranges. It's all pain. All of us are in pain. We need to stop,
regardless of anything.
Oranges.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true. Regardless of anything, yeah, we're all in the same. To be honest, we're all in the same boat to them, regardless of anything.
Exactly. Nobody getting out of the boat, motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know, man. It's a struggle. Like I'll admit, like I can't lie though. I feel like, I know this might sound crazy, but I think Megan did experience like an even more horrible experience, because come on, that's the royal family. You could imagine how much bullying they did to that girl.
Well,
not even her, the media.
Imagine waking up
every day and being told you're a piece of shit.
No, but picture yourself in a snobby ass, high-chested white family that's gonna definitely bully. Like, okay, the reason why I know she experienced it heavily, because I was in one of my past relationships. I was with somebody who's white, and I got to meet their family. Bro, when I say that was literally the worst experience ever, so I can imagine the royal family. They have power. They have, so it's like
it's one of those things where it's just like we're all aware of our difference, primarily because of how society amplifies those kind of separations. But it's when you're reminded of your difference, that's when it really
Yeah.
hurts. So like, you know, like we're good. Black people don't really have a problem with being different until it becomes problematic.
Yeah.
Right.
We're usually celebrated for being different at that point until it becomes problematic.
I mean,
then your blackness is being reminded. Then you get reminded of your black.
I think the problem is that we're not celebrated for our blackness. To be honest,
Bars.
Like
Bars.
if it was really celebrated and respected, then it wouldn't be an issue, because then people wouldn't have a situation.
You'd be human.
Turn around and be like, oh, okay, like this is problematic. A lot of things, and that's why it's like, you know, when people are reminded, because this kind of reminds me of shit. I know it's Jamie Lynn.
Yeah, I remember.
With the dreadlocks and
dreadlocks thing. Yep.
Yeah.
And him having a beef with one of the other NBA players, and him having to remind him that he did the same thing by having Chinese kanji on his arm. Yep, I remember.
Well, yeah, he kind of was like the kind of conversation that people have when they're like, you're imitating blackness. It's just like, what are we fighting for? Are we looking for that celebration? Because if that was the case, then we'd want more people to emulate it.
Facts.
Right.
And not to mention, we're one of the only cultures that we are everyone. So let's be honest about it. The only reason why we have a competitive argument or a competitive issue with this is because it's never celebrated until somebody lights or puts it on. That's it. That's the only issue we have. Until the identity of Black people as a whole comes down to being celebrated, just like you said. But it also starts with us. Right. We have to start celebrating people like Meghan and like people like ourselves before they become the Meghan Markles and the President Obamas of the world. We need to celebrate them while they're taking their steps. Give them their flowers before they get to that pinnacle, so they don't turn into Kanye West and think half the world hates them for their gifts when they were celebrated for the crazy shit they were doing before. Like, the real context of this thing is that Black people are always held in this little tiny fucking box. Whether it be by your own community, whether it be by your friends, whether it be by the people's expectations, whether it's your family's expectations, it takes a long freaking time to break out of that box. And the problem is, as a whole, we don't even have the clue on how to break out of that box. So, like, to bring it back to the Meghan and the royal family situation, here's a young Black woman, regardless if she's light-skinned, yada, yada, all that other bullshit. Here's a young woman of color who had to go through the gauntlet and the ringer of the royal family and was shitted on in every single way possible. The only actual support system that she ever had was the man that she married. The real shit that we all need to do is commend a man like Harry for actually being the most stand-up dude we've ever seen from the royal family. He never cheated on his girl. He never went out there and fucked a bunch of other women. When he stood on 10 toes. He says, I'm gonna rail this for my wife. I'm going to sacrifice the shit that I had that I could have just been living a normal general life every day. And I'm going to take this lady with me because she believed in me and probably was there dealing with all the shit from my mom, dealing with all the shit from my family. She actually came with me. That's what the real story of this whole entire thing is the fact that love finally conquered. Yeah. You got a man that actually stepped up and stepped himself up.
By his woman,
stepped up for a Black woman.
Exactly.
That's what needs to be celebrated.
He literally let go of he let go of every benefit that he got for his woman, flat out.
He was at the top of the pinnacle, bro. He could have easily been at war with his brother, like you said, just for that title. He said, fuck all that shit, and he went for that's what needs to be commended. We always hear that it's the year of the woman, man. Women are getting their just dues. They're finally getting their breaks on a lot of things. And this is one of those situations where you got to see one of the most powerful white men on the planet fight for a Black woman. That
I actually like that you brought that up.
Needs to be celebrated to some degree.
Exactly.
It's not only us as Black men that need to fight for y'all. It needs to be everybody.
Everybody.
So see that as a general norm. Give the man his props, man. That's all I'm saying. Give the man his props.
I can't lie. I've been hearing and seeing even comments of people actually pointing that out. So I feel like people do see it. I just feel like people aren't talking about it enough. That's what I think it is. But overall, like, I feel like they're in a good position right now to come out with a tell-all book.
All I'm gonna say is if there's a book, all I'm saying is James Bond might get a call.
This is the perfect time for them to be like, book deal. Let's do a book deal. Because they're already out of like the royal family and all that stuff now. So it's like, hey, they have. But then again, I think actually the royal family might like try to sue them or something like that.
Well, yeah,
they're very
Real House. What are you saying? Real Housewives of royal family coming soon?
maybe something like that. But like they can easily just do a book deal and like do a tell-all book if they wanted to. But I feel like how the royal family is and how they're set up, I feel like they might set them up or do something to stop them.
But I think that's a dangerous slope, because here's the thing. Once they've separated themselves, the idea was to not have to profit off the royal family, was to create a legacy. So the whole idea of a tell-all book doesn't do anything for that.
True. And I think it's just going to cause more problems.
And besides, Meghan's already doing a bang-up job of them making money. She's got, she published she already did her little thing with Oprah. She owns that. She owns half the rights to that. Yep. Then to make it worse, she was already an actress on Suits. So she's already getting cuts from all of that.
From all the reruns and stuff like that, you know? Yeah. Not only that, she's also, I think she said she's gonna do voiceovers for Disney.
She's doing voice acting, and she has additional work. So they're fine. But it's one of those things that a tell-all book would probably be impactful, because like, you know, what if something happens to William? Right?
Yeah.
And they have to go back to him as interim prince for whatever.
Knock on the wood. That's all I'm saying. Just not pass on.
So like you can definitely shed light on the situation, but they don't want to burn bridges. Like they're not denouncing the royal family.
Yeah, you don't want to be in a situation where some fucked up thinking happened, right?
So definitely, it's just one of those things where like they have to be mindful in how they present their information, because at the end of the day, the situation may change. Like the queen might decree and be like, hey, you know what? All this was bullshit. My last statement is being like, you know, everyone should be respected in the family and being provided with something. So even if, you know, he doesn't become the next prince or king, you know, if he becomes a duke or a lord,
yeah, she could rescind that shit. Yeah, she does have the power. She could just simply say, my son has been doing very well. I need him to have a duke. Bang. And like, you know,
I feel like both of them are good financially wise anyway. Yeah, Meghan could take her ass down to like rooms to go and be a damn assistant manager if she wanted to. She could. Like both of them could get any type of like job, to be honest.
I mean, here's the thing. Everybody's final thought on this entire thing, just so we don't kill this as a whole discussion. And I just want to find out from you. Here's a final question for everybody else. Now knowing that the royal family is so powerless, did it affect your general opinion on how they're viewed, or do you think this just created more tabloid fodder for them to get right back on top?
No, I feel like, for me, I feel like this finally puts a nail in the coffin with like what everyone already thought of them, because everyone already knew this about them, but we just didn't get like the direct answer from them, or like
we never got an exclusive.
Yeah, but now that we see how the family actually is being towards them, and like just how they are acting in general, it's like now we finally see, yeah, you guys are like that. Like what everyone actually thought before is actually accurate. So like, to be honest with you, I don't think it's gonna make them get back in the spotlight on that type of level like before in the past. No, never that. I feel like now it kind of made them
humanize them.
Yeah, in a sense, like it kind of humbled them. Like this is their karma. I feel like this is their karma. Like it humbled them, and I feel like it's gonna raise up Harry and Meghan's status, not them.
It depends on how they spin it. If they sit there and act like a victim, which I know they haven't, Harry was very strategic in being like, not naming people, not doing that. Meghan a little bit, but there's a little bit of emotional component to sell it in.
Yeah.
If they're mindful, like they said, championing the relationship and understanding and doing their own thing and saying, we put things on the table, it's up to you and society and how the thing works.
How you present it.
They'll be fine. Right. But if they keep hammering this, then it's just going to blow up in their face, because it's just like Andrew, you were saying, celebrating, you know, minorities and the difference. The last thing we want is to be given like special treatment because you made a lot of noise. Like they're not earning the respect and saying, yeah, we'll figure it out on our own. We're good. We're not taking advantage of this. We made this choice. Worst case scenario, like they just fade into obscurity. And then they're just okay.
They're making a shit ton of money in the background and nobody gives a fuck what they're doing. That's
when it comes to the royal family, not surprised. I knew about how they were set up for years because I've asked this
Yeah.
question. I'm like, like for the last like 5-10 years, I was just like, well, what's the benefit of the queen, right? Like she comes here, we have a parade for her. The governor general is the representative, but at what aspect, right? And it's just
A lot of that.
it's just an
They
idealism.
just do
Like
charities.
like the only thing that Britain is going to be beneficial, I'm not saying Britain's a bad place or whatever, if we work out that trade agreement with Britain to have like, you know, the Canada, Great Britain, New Zealand free trade agreement and kind of sidestep the US. That's the only thing that's going to be beneficial to Canada. But at the end of the day, like, you know,
there's no benefit.
Nah, and it just shows how their society works, right? Like as wonderful as I think Britain is, I'd love to see it. I was just like, you guys are okay with being under control.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, have you really noticed like security cameras everywhere? This and that, like
everything.
No,
like
it's kind of like China. China has the same type of thing too.
Yeah, the monarchy. Yeah, man, it's just one
crazy.
of those things where like I don't want to be as free as the United States, but like, you know, they're very restrictive. So like at the end of the day, I kind of like Canada being in the middle, being like, you know,
a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Right. Like our police officers walk around with guns, but they're just handguns. They're not semi-automatic, and they're not.
We ain't got no big call up walking around.
And like no knock laws and a whole bunch of stuff like that. But in Britain, I don't want to be like, you know, every given time it's just like, Rohan, we were following you in this. We saw you zero in like secret agent. And we like, yeah, we knew
super big brother.
We knew when you came out of the underground and da da da. Be like, look, what? Drones?
No, but that's why I always tell people be grateful that you live in Canada, because places like the UK and China, they're on lockdown. Like
I be telling people that all the damn time.
All the time. Because I hear some spoiled ass Canadians too that like complain. It's like, what are you complaining about?
Pack up and leave. I tell anybody who got an issue with Canada, pack your ass up and go wherever you have an issue.
Me, I always say I'm glad to be here because honestly, I look at every other country and they have cameras everywhere watching people.
Look at remember that dude who walked up on the premiere, that white dude?
Yeah.
He like broke into I forget what it's called, one whatever, where the prime minister lives. That's just like, you realize, like, it shows how lackadaisy our security is for our prime minister, the most powerful person for our country. But at the same token, it's just like that liberty to do that, because you can't do that to the White House. Yo, the Secret Service would get on it, and you cannot do that.
Yeah,
it'd be a problem.
Yo, they would get on it before you even reach on the grass.
Yo, drop a candy wrapper at Buckingham Palace. And you see a red dot on your chest about to get sniped. Like, that's how serious they are.
Bro, there's handles for the queen. I remember watching a report where the queen, where the guy was breaking down all the queen's secret behaviors, that she doesn't need to speak anymore. She has a trained staff so well that if she wants to move from a room, all she does is move her purse handle to a certain position. And they know to advocately move her. Like everything within that family is so like in other countries is so like look at the China's regime. Like the guy moves around like he's an emperor. Like, and it's a public system. Like, no, don't play it with them people. I mean, my final point on this situation is very, very simple. we live in a world where complacency is general. And like Rohan was saying, I am really happy that I live in a country where the right to basically participate and the right to say fuck you is an option. What I'm actually happy and what I can see in this world moving forward is the Meghan Markles and all of the other like royal establishments are going to realize one thing and one thing only, that their power is non-existent and it is dwindling by the minute. The one thing that taught me this more than anything else was actually Trump. Weirdly enough, because Trump went to the British monarchy, walked in front of the Queen, and wasn't shot. No, I'm being real about this. That's a general offense that you cannot break. Certain rules and certain regulations when it comes to moving around in that monarchy back in the day used to be some beheadable shit.
Yeah.
That's how you know society has relaxed to a core at it. Like basically, we're just getting to this point now.
Bro. I don't.
Yeah, like I said, karma.
In that case, I don't think it's relaxed. It's just one of those things where it was influence versus influence, And at the end of the day, you cannot forget, as messed up as the United States is, they have like there's military presence.
Or military superiority.
Yeah, is
Pardon.
in some cases they're 6 times stronger military-wise than China and Russia combined.
Yes.
Mhm.
They spend more money on military technology than anybody else.
$6.8 billion annually on military.
And I guarantee you, in a couple of years, they're gonna spend that to $1 trillion soon enough.
Like Kanye's purse every year on military.
Bars.
So
bars. I mean, but here's the thing, and I want to say this as clearly as that. Just getting back to the Meghan situation and Harry. One thing that we have actually peeled back the curtain on like historical societies like this. But I want people to take in, and all our viewers to take in a certain little nurses. Take in the same exact inquisitiveness into your own families. Because what you'll actually realize is that that same dissension that's walking around is walking around in everybody. What they reminded us is that they're not any different than the rest of us, and their families are full of drama just like we are. So we keep putting people like this on a pedestal, trying to think that just because they're a royalty or they're aristocracy or there's something to do with it, even money. We need to reevaluate the position that we put people of power in when it comes to containers to our lives. What has happened is Harry's pulled back the curtain and showed you that he is just as real and Meghan is just as real as anybody else. And I'm actually thankful for that, because for the first time, I actually had empathy for the Queen. Because actually going through the situation, I could actually look at her and actually wonder what was in her brain when she had to watch that interview and watch how her family's being railroaded now. And this is a person who has lived an incredibly privileged and powerful life. So now she's seeing the actual opposite end of this. And I was just trying to think of myself of what a powerful person like that would actually need to think about. And it's been a cultural experience. For me, it's actually been cool to see the veil kind of pulled back and see into the closet a little bit. So I'm thankful for that. And for our guests, maybe it's time you peel the veil back and look into your own closet.
No, it seems like they're losing their value a little bit year by year, day by day. Because I only say that because like in the past they were like what you said, they were put on a pedestal. But everybody has their time. You're gonna fall off your pedestal soon enough. And this, to be honest with you, I feel like this is the time. Like no one even takes the royal family that seriously anymore. I would say maybe the UK does, maybe a little bit, because that's their thing. True. But I feel like everybody else is like, yeah, whatever. Everyone's kind of tired of it now.
Yeah.
It's kind of old. It's getting old.
Yeah. Well, everything has an expiry date.
Yeah, exactly. I already knew they weren't gonna last that long.
Except McDonald's, goddammit.
Bro, I know facts about McDonald's, man. But we'll talk about that in this show.
All I'm saying is there's a guy with a cheeseburger that's over 50 years old and the cheeseburger hasn't aged, okay?
Well, it has a mold on it, but it's still.
No, there's no mold on it. The only thing that has happened is that the tomato, the what do you call it? The pickle that was on it calcified. Like it didn't change anything. Like it actually hasn't turned green. The bread hasn't changed color. It's still soft. That's the part that's creepy. Like the bun was still soft, fam. That's creepy.
That's nasty.
McDonald's has no expiration date, people. No. It's like a Twinkie.
I think they did that. No, not with the fries. I think it was the burger.
No. The fries dry up. The fries are instantaneous.
Yeah, the fries dry up, but the burger.
If you ever bought McDonald's, you would know that in your lifetime. Like the second you drive away from that window, it's cardboard 2 minutes afterwards.
You start to wonder if it's even really fries though, because like what the hell? It tastes like cardboard with a sprinkle of salt.
Anyway, let's wrap things up. People, drop your socials.
You already know.
At Lexine Samuels.
You already know who it is. It's your boy LIP, Lord _905 on the Instagram, Andrew Coley on the socials. You know what it is. Follow your boy.
And it's your boy controlling all this. Your boy Rizzings on some, and then Mr. _Remarkable on others. But by all means, we love you. We'll miss you until next time. Until then, take care of each other, and by all means, be sure to like, subscribe, and share all this lovely goodness, especially this pretty face. Not mine,
Come
hers.
on, you know, look at me. I'm shining. Boy, your skin is glistening today.
Anyways, peace out, everybody.
Love y'all.
Stay safe.
Mm.